Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, The Land Portal. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through a complete overview guide of how to use the Land Portal and what sets it apart. So when you guys log in and become a subscriber, this is what your home screen will look like. This is your main page, your map, and then you have all of your functionalities here on the left. So I'm going to start by just walking you through the filtered search. This is the area where you'll go to get your data, to get your county records exports and start marketing. And the one thing that I want to point out first is this vacant lots button. So if you guys are land investors, this button right here actually takes an aerial satellite imagery combined with some data from the county and test if it has a building on it. It is about 99.9% accurate. So if there's a structure on it, that's the size of an average house or bigger. And it usually knows if there's barns and things like that. And it will cross-check USPS data as well. But this is AI analyzing the land. There's no more going and just relying on county data that's inaccurate. You guys will send a ton of mail and marketing to mobile homes and small structures on properties when you do that. Usually about 10 to 20% of your data will have that. But this is prevented from using this vacant lots. If you guys are land investors, you definitely want to focus on this button. Next filter is the vacant structure. So that's just anyone that USPS decides is vacated. So it's a house, residential property that is vacant by the USPS. And then you have residential properties. These are just the most commonly used filters, which is why they're at the top. Next, you can filter by your state, county, zoning subtype. We'll get into all these filters here shortly. You can filter by out of state, last sale date. All of the standard filters are on here, and you guys can go through them and play with them yourself as well. So what we're going to do to start, we're going to just pick a random county in Ohio, and we're going to go up to Ashland. From here, you have that county. So you can select here, or you can select by zip codes or city, right? So one other way to select the area is by using this polygon search here in the top left. I'll zoom in and actually use it for you guys. So essentially what you're going to do with this polygon search is just click it and select the area. So these are each counties right here inside Canton. Maybe I didn't want that inner city because I don't want any urban areas. So I'm going to just go around the city like this. And I'm going to essentially just get it like that and hit enter. So you can select and you can have as many polygons on this as you want. So maybe if we're just going around Canton, you can click the polygon search again. And then I'm going to add the same thing here and come up with my area. Maybe I want to bring it down to here. So then you click enter and it's here. So I have two polygons here. So anything outside of this Canton right here is going to be, and we'll use this for the search instead of state and county just because I did it, but you can search by state, county, zip code as well. And I'm going to go down to my filters, and these are the proprietary filters for us at no additional charge. If you guys are in the premium or platinum, you have access to all of these. The basic does not have access. If a property is landlocked or not, this is road access essentially, which means do you want the property to have road access or not? So most of the time you guys will say no if you want access to the property, but there are land investors who also focus on properties that don't have access, and then they try to find access as well. So you can go through, click no there. You can actually search by road frontage, which is the amount of frontage in feet that your property has. So if you're targeting subdivides and things like that, maybe you want 2,000 feet and more of road access. So I'll put 2,000 to 5,000 in this case for just to show you guys the example. And then I'll go 20 to 50 acres. So just for the road access, say we're targeting just big road frontage to split it up like a minor subdivide. That's how you do that. Now I'm going to hit apply. So I have 108 properties you see that were in this area outside of, let's see what county this is. If you zoom in, you can see this is in Stark County, Ohio, in the bottom right of the screen here, Stark County, Ohio. Outside of the Canton, this gave us between 108 properties that fit between 2,000 to 5,000 feet of road frontage that are 20 to 50 acres. And you can go into your list view. So click list view. Click show on map and you'll see all of your markers. If you guys are using a software that you can't see all of your data points, I highly recommend not doing that because you don't know the accuracy of them. And you can just zoom into these and you can essentially build a list. You can check this or uncheck it if you want to keep this in your list. There's road frontage on the north side here, and there's a ton of road frontage on the south as well and the west. This would be a perfect subdivide lot here. And you can see how it's targeting these. And all of these data points are going to be like this. Look at this property here with all this road frontage on two sides. And essentially, you're going to build a very unique list. And then if you were willing to export this, or if you want to edit it out and go through more, you can uncheck these data points, like I said, on the map or over here on your list view as well. When you're ready to export your list, you'll click export and you can remove duplicates and remove any data without mailing addresses. I typically, for such a specified list like this, I'm not going to remove duplicates, but typically I probably would. It's up to your guys' business. But let's keep going on the filtered search. So that's just road frontage targeting. I'm going to remove this road frontage and keep that blank. We also can filter by FEMA flood zone. So maybe you don't want any property that's 0 to 50% FEMA in a wetlands, right? And we want anything from 2 to 50 acres, and anything over 50% in a flood zone, or maybe let's just do 60% for now. We don't want that because that's majority of it covered in a flood zone that's determined by the FEMA organization. So you have that. And then along with that, you have all of your other filters. If you want to look through these, you can out of county owner or out of state. So you can target, out of state owners. Maybe we want that on. Out of county will be disabled because if it's out of state, it's obviously going to be out of county. Last sale date, you can do whatever date you guys prefer in here. Some people just do 01, 01, 100 to, if they want something in 2017, maybe you could do that. So we could go, let's just do 1/1/2017. So anything bought since 2017 is not going to be in this list. And you guys can continue to filter and look through these and find out what you want, but I'm going to hit apply on this one. So here's my results. I only have 5 properties that fit this, that are out of county and fit all of the filters that I have on. Obviously, a lot of times you want to build much bigger list than that, but I just wanted to show you guys for the sake of this demonstration. So another feature we have is the ability to save and build list. So you can add this to a saved list right now. Maybe I was building a subdivision list in Northern Ohio. I can add that to my save list, and then I can go to the save list and we can continue off left where we are. We can also export or skip trace from this as well to build it, or you can edit and delete these data points as well. There will be a view on map here, so you can take all of these points and put it back on a map here in the next few weeks. But as of now, there is not. You'll also see your data exports in your order history. You can export it CSV or XLSS. You can address any of your subscriptions and downloads here as well. And then there's a skip tracing file where you can upload your new order. This is 1 out of 3 ways to skip trace on the site. You can upload your data here as a new order, which we have other videos on, or you could do it based off of your saved searches and skip trace directly from your list in here. The third way to do it, and we'll get into some of the mapping features now. So that was a good overview of the data and the filters. And just to recap that, there's landlocked filters, there's road frontage and FEMA filters. A wetlands filter will be in the next week or two. It is finished and it's in final staging testing right now. So wetlands will be on here, and this is all included in your membership at no additional cost. Going into the mapping features here, if you zoom into a property, we have tons of mapping options. So in the bottom right, you see your filters, right? And we have contour lines, we have FEMA floodplains, we have wetlands, we have water features, and we have soil types. So you can see the soil types here, and you can click into any of these and you'll see the description of the soil. And that's what you can do across nationwide. And to keep in mind, guys, we do have every single parcel in the United States is covered on the landportal.com. I think it's like 158 million parcels or something similar to that. So you can see all of your map filters here, and parcel boundaries you can turn off. But whatever you want to do, if you want to see if a property is wet, you'll click this on and see the wetlands. If you want to see if a property is in a floodplain, if you want to see the slope of a property, that is also an option here. So all of your mapping features are on here. Along with that, you guys can stencil in and create distances and see how much road frontage this has. You just have to click the line. You see my white line here, and then click where you want to go, and then click enter. You'll see the first line is 1,300 feet. I'm going to make another line from here out, hit enter. That line's 644 feet you see down here, and you can keep building your lines to see the perimeters of this and building them out. You can click delete on that. And then a second thing you can do is build out subdivisions or just measure out the total size of a property. So if I wanted to build out a little subdivision here, maybe I need to stencil this property off. I know my lines are a little off here, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of this demonstration. You see this is 9.31 acres, and you can keep building your lots. Hit enter here. Enter, and you can keep building on and so on. Obviously, this isn't what a real subdivision will look like, but I just wanted to build different squares for you guys to see. So 3.4 acres, you can see the square footage and the acreage right from here. This is a new tool, and a lot of people have been using it. So if you haven't, make sure to utilize that as well. So those are the 2 mapping tools on the land portal. You just click this button for the pop-up. Here is the area search for the perimeter, the total area, and then here's the line, the measurement tool right under it. Along with that, we have a 3D button, which you can click. And if you hold, I'm on a MacBook, so if I hold, I think it's Control, you can kind of come down and see this is a very flat area in Ohio, as you can see, but in sloped areas, you'll be able to see the 3D map very well here. and that is also available. And then we have different satellites down here. If you click the up area, there's the NAIP, and then there's the standard satellite that we use. So it gives you different perspectives on the land is the idea. We're going to build out more satellites in the future as well, but 2 is good enough for now, and it's what most people were asking for. And then you also have street views if you want to take the street view instead of the satellite. The default is the satellite though. So the next thing I want to get into is searching by one property. You can search by address, you can search by APN, you can search by owner, and you can search by latitude, longitude. If I was searching by APN, it's just like most sources out there that you've searched by. You just pick the state and then the county and then the parcel number. If you're searching by the address, it's all nationwide. You can type in any property and then it's going to load on here. You click into that property and then it's going to pull it up with all of the details. So here we have our property card. You can see the owner name and the address at the top. There is an ability to skip trace this. This is free. You can literally click skip trace. It shows it's 50 cents on my screen. I have an admin account. This is free for users that are in premium or platinum. And you hit confirm. And this is going to store in the property card. You get the phone number right here and you guys can skip trace this guy and call him. Or if you have neighboring properties or landlocked property behind yours and you want to buy that too, whatever your situation is, this is a very one-click free button to use to get the skip tracing data. Next, you have the whole property card with all of the information in it, property overview, the road frontage it has, and if it's landlocked, those are the 2 unique. Obviously, this is not landlocked. There's a road access right here, and then it tells you the rough estimate amount, and you can also measure that with the tool to confirm. And then you have the parcel address, all of the owner information, and then we have our land use codes. This is a lot of zoning information here, what it's being used as. Says it's agricultural. There's a cemetery on the back you can see here on the map. Developed site with crops. So it's pretty much saying this is rural land with a house on it, land use code 3000 with residential buildings. And then you can scroll down, mixed use. This is a partnership we have with Zoneonomics at this time. And you can look at how they classify it as well. And then you have the USPS vacancy indicators. Is this a residential delivery indicator? Yes. So this is a delivery address it's showing. And is it vacant? No. And then you can see the date of confirmation 5/1. They've delivered since then. So that's the delivery. And you can continue to go down and see all of our information in here. You have the census data, last sale data here, which is not filled out in this. That's fairly common. We have about 70% of last sale data price nationwide, which is solid, but not every single property has one. And then you have the legal description and the plot as well. So you can get the book and page number and then call the county and get the deed information typically from here. It's not included in every single property either. If I click around and scroll down to the very bottom, some of them might be, some of them might not be. Next, what you can do up here, you can click this download KML button, and this will take you to Google Earth with the red outline on it already. So if you want to get different elevation profiles or different views and go to street view and all of that good stuff, you can click this download KML. It's one of the most clicked buttons on our site. So people are obviously enjoying it. It's just to get the Google Earth, and then these red perimeter lines will come up with that as well. So make sure you guys are using that. So if I was looking at this property, I have all my mapping features here. I have the 3D map. I have my stencil tool. I can check the soil type, if it's in a flood zone, the contour lines, all of that stuff. So this gives you all the mapping features you need along with all the data and the property information here. The skip trace and the download KML buttons are on top of the property cards as well. That is it. That wraps up my tutorial, guys. If there's anything else you want to see, let us know in the comments below. But as you saw, this is how you filter for the highest quality land and real estate data in the world. And you have a filter and export option. You can download it. You can view properties on a map. You can look at the property card, find all the information. You can have all the mapping features you need. You can skip trace here. It's a great combination between your data source with unique filters of having landlocked, wetlands, FEMA, flood zone filters to remove all of those properties you don't want that are landlocked and so on, and target road frontage for subdivides and so on. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If there's anything else you guys want to see on the land portal or any updates, let me know in the comments. But as always, thank you guys for joining.